we shall go through how to use R for hypothesis testing. Hypothesis testing is a method of statistical inference used to decide whether the data at hand sufficiently support particular hypothesis. In today's example, we shall test whether the annual returns for the Dow Jones is worse than the S&P 500. Starting off, we assume that you have downloaded and retrieved the data from the internet, and so we shall go on to look through the code in R. We can import the data sets into R using the read.csv function and then save the population we wish to test as the testing population and the population we want to test against as the benchmark. To test whether the returns for the Dow Jones is worse than the S&P at 5% significance level, we can set the null hypothesis as the population mean equals to benchmark, and for the alternative hypothesis as the population mean being less than benchmark, i.e. to say the population mean minus benchmark being less than 0. There are two methods to conduct the test. Firstly, we can manually calculate the p-value. We can calculate this by first retrieving the standard deviation, the mean, and then the population size. After which, we calculate the test statistic using the formula mean minus benchmark divided by the standard deviation over the square root of the sample size. Then we calculate the probability, which use the functions pt bracketed test statistic, comma, degree of freedom equals to sample size minus 1. And since this is a one-tailed test, the p-value equals to the probability. If it was a two-tailed test, then the p-value equals to 2 times the probability. So we can see that the p-value is 0.44. Another method to test is to use the test function in the R. This is t.test bracket the parameters. The parameters are as follows. First, you put in the data, which is the testing population, then mu equals to the benchmark, the alternative, which in our case is less, and then the confidence level, which is just 1 minus the significance level, so it's 0.95. Then the test will just run and it will result in the p-value being 0.404, which coincides with the p-value we calculated at the top, and so we can conclude that since the p-value is larger than 0.05, it shows that the null hypothesis is not rejected, and so the Dow Jones is not worse than the S&P 500 in its annual returns. Thank you.